What's up? What's up? What's up? Rick Paulton and not Ryan Inman. This is our guest this week. We have Jason Pitts, the director of the movie that we watched a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, whenever long ago it was. VOORHEES, Night of the Beast. Now, I've screwed that up like 9 million times. I keep calling it, I forgot what else. Beast Within. That's what I thought it was called. That's not what it's called. It's Night of the Beast. He's Jason Pitts. He is. And how's it going, brother?
It's going great, Rick.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on.
I really appreciate you coming on. Like I was starting to tell you, like when you first jumped in before we went live, when I first heard of this movie, I'm like, this is bonkers, man. Fucking Jason and Bigfoot, this is insane. And we watched it. We did a watch along on the show, and most of my listeners or my viewers that were all of the ones that were on that day were really digging the film, and some of them actually even recognized some of your actors from other things, like the blonde chick. They knew who she was.
Jessica.
Yeah. She was like, oh, that's, I don't know her. But he was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, they knew her from some other stuff. And we had a great time watching it. And again, I put it on as a goof because I didn't think it would be good. And then I watched it. I actually really, really liked it. And that got me into seeing some of your other films on YouTube. And I'm really digging your stuff. So I'm glad you took the time to come on and answer some questions about just about you in general, what you do, and yeah, it's good to have you on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what got you into horror?
Oh man, I'm typical story. Growing up in the 80s.
Let's start with the cliche questions.
Yep. Growing up in the 80s with Freddy and Jason, and Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. I don't know.
Which one of those is your favorite?
Oh, I think my favorite zombie movie is Day of the Dead.
I love Day, and I get a lot of heat for that.
I don't understand why. I think it's probably the best zombie movie out there.
I like Night the best, but I like Day way better than Dawn. And a lot of people are like, how can you say that?
I do too. I love how dark Day is. Day is, and then so I love really good villains, and Rhodes is like the chef's kiss villain. Like, he's so good.
Good stuff for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, just growing up on those films, I think my first memory is like one of the Texas Chainsaw movies, like when I was like 4, in the back in the bed of my dad's truck at a drive-in movie theater. So yeah, it's just always stuck with me, and I love horror. I think it's the most creative genre. You can do the most with it. Sci-fi is a close second, but I think sci-fi is just an offshoot of horror.
Yeah, I was going to say sci-fi is like horror's cousin. Yeah, absolutely. So out of the big 4, you got Nightmare, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw, and Halloween. How would you rank those?
I think I'd rank Freddy or the original Nightmare on Elm Street at number 1. For its time, I think it's probably one of the most ingenious ideas ever. Like, I don't remember anything before that, and it was just incredible. And then probably Halloween, just for like the technical aspects of it. The score, and it's a beautifully shot film. There's so much technical stuff you can learn by studying Halloween. And then I guess probably Friday the 13th after that, and then Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I love all of them for sure. But
I do too.
Nightmare to me was like that Cleveland's own Wes Craven. Nightmare to me was one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've never been afraid of Friday the 13th. That's my favorite franchise, but I've never been afraid of it at all. I've never thought it was scary. But Nightmare, man, when I was a kid, it's 84. I seen it when it first came out. I was 5 years old. And it's still to this day. I love watching it, but I still get scared of it. It's a scary freaking movie.
The
scariest of the 4.
Oh, absolutely. The scene with Tina in the body bag in the school.
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
Right. For sure. So, how did you get into film?
Well, being inspired by all those films as a kid growing up, I just fell in love with film and storytelling in general. I started out just really wanting to be a writer, and I went to school for film, radio, and television at the University of North Texas, and
Are you from Texas then?
well, I'm originally from California, then moved to Arkansas when I was 10,
Okay.
then graduated high school here in Arkansas, got married, and then we moved to Texas, and then that's when I got my degree, is when we were in Texas, and then since then we've moved back to Arkansas. So,
right. Okay.
But I got my degree in film, and then just focused on screenwriting and learning the craft of screenwriting more than anything. And then I realized that nobody cares what I write. Nobody wants to make it. Everybody's got their own stuff. And so I just started making my own.
Yeah, so you just made it yourself. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I've gotten to the point now where I love directing way more than writing. So
do you write your films as well then? Are your films all written by you? Okay.
Yeah, I wrote Alone, Masquerade, VOORHEES, Night of the Beast. Yeah, everything that you've seen on my YouTube, I've written as well.
Okay, cool. Right on. So, where was I on this list? I got a list of stuff. So, yeah, I was talking to Adam Marcus earlier. What was it, yesterday, the day before? And I was telling him about your movie because it seems like a lot of it. It seems like you're a fan of Jason Goes to Hell. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I like Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was asking him if he had seen it because I was hoping he had, so I can get like a soundbite from him of what he thought about the movie. He hasn't seen it, but he's gonna check it out. He's gonna check it out.
There's been several. I know personally of several people that have told Adam about it, and Adam and I are Facebook friends as well. Yeah. And we have talked a little bit, but I've always wondered if he has seen it or not.
No, he said he hadn't seen it yet, but he's very intrigued about it, and he's going to try to check it out soon. And yeah, because I was like, yeah, dude, he's got your boy Duke in there, and it's fucking amazing. It's really cool the way that he did that. But yeah. So he's definitely if he gets back to me and he sees it, I'll tell you what he says. Awesome. But I think he's gonna like it.
I hope so.
So
it's a love letter.
On that note, though, what directors inspired you coming up? Like, who do you look up to? Who are some of your favorites?
100% Wes Craven. He is like my idol in more ways than one because he started in film late, and like so did I. So it's kind of like, well, he did it like he didn't have to get in early because he was he's an English teacher for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then, I think Last House on the Left, he made like in his late 30s or early 40s or something like it was late.
Yeah.
So he's an inspiration to me. Like he's probably my favorite.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was shot at Sean Cunningham's house.
Yeah.
The last
out in the woods.
I found the house. Well, it's not there anymore. It's an empty field where Wes Craven grew up. It's east side, right? I'm from Cleveland. So, yeah, he grew up 10, 15 minutes away from me.
That's awesome.
So we got these like little signs, like Superman's also from here. So right in front of the house where they invented Superman, there's this little plaque and stuff like that. And John Heisman's from here, and they got one of those for him. And I'm going to talk to whoever makes these plaques and see if we can get one.
Yeah. Get one for Craven, yeah.
I was like, we need to work on that. I'm gonna see, that's my new mission. My new mission is to figure out how to do that. Right on. So, where was this? The Night of the Beast. Where was it filmed?
We shot that in Louisa, Kentucky.
Okay.
I have a friend that lives there who had major hookups on all the locations and places for us to sleep. She got us the cabins, the lake, like everything, pretty much for free. Her husband's the mayor of that town, so like me and my team, we packed up and drove from Arkansas to Kentucky and stayed there for a week shooting it.
Yeah, when you're working with I think a $15,000 budget from my research, is that correct? Yeah. I mean, in indie filmmaking, man, every dollar you can save, a penny saved is a penny earned, as they say.
Absolutely. And it was such a cool experience because it was just like film camp, we had like 25, 30 of us just staying in cabins, and like that's all we did for a solid 7 days. We get up, we shoot, we go to bed, get up, shoot, go to bed.
Right on. Let's see. So you had Madman Fulton in the movie.
Yeah.
Former WWE guy, TNA guy, longer than that. He Ohio guy. He's from Toledo, Ohio, and he wrestled a lot of indies around here. Good dude. How did that come to be?
I'm friends with James Stokes, who plays Jason, and
Mhm.
when I was first pitching the idea to James, and I told him I think it's going to be a Jason versus Bigfoot movie, and we needed to find somebody big for Bigfoot, like bigger than James was, because James was playing Jason, and he and Madman had worked together on a previous film, and he had Madman's phone number. He gave it to me. He's like, I know the perfect guy. Give him a call. So I called Jacob up, and we talked and worked it out. And he was fantastic. He played two parts.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he played Bigfoot and he played.
Okay, cool. That's why I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He does a lot of a friend of mine runs a lot of charity wrestling things and for autism awareness, and he's done a lot of stuff with him. So yeah, really good dude. So were you a wrestling fan growing up, or?
Yeah, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Yeah,
So
I've watched it pretty much consistently since like '97.
Right. See, when I was a kid growing up in the early '80s, early to mid '80s, we didn't go to Blockbuster. We went to like mom and pop video store. I can't remember the name of it, but in that video store, there was three things that Blockbuster really didn't have. There was the room behind the beads that my dad would go in, and I would sneak in once in a while. Yeah. There was the giant horror section where you would find stuff that Blockbuster would never have on their shelves. And then there was a wrestling section where I was able to see stuff from Crockett Promotions, from Texas, Mid-South, like tapes that they sold, that you just, wasn't available on cable like it is today. Mm-hmm. So I grew up like really getting into a lot of that stuff, man. I actually had a wrestling version of the podcast going, but
very cool.
It didn't really catch on. So we might revisit that later. But
have you ever heard of a promotion it was really popular about 10 to 12 years ago? It was called Traditional Championship Wrestling, TCW.
I have not heard of it, but I noticed it on your credits.
Yeah. I was head of creative on that.
Awesome.
That was a lot of fun. Got to work with like Matt Hardy and Zach Gowen and
nice.
DDP. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We have in Cleveland, we have Absolute Intense Wrestling, and anybody that's big now in wrestling came through there. Like I almost called him Tyler Black, but Seth Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins was their champion at one point. And Daniel Bryan, he was there. Johnny Gargano was there for years because Gargano's from Cleveland. So all these guys that are big now, they all came through there at different points. So he does a lot of big stuff. It's cool stuff for sure. What's up, Karen? Karen's in the house. JP in the house.
Hi, guys.
Tell a friend to come in and join us. Let's see. Mike Quackenbush is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and he never went mainstream. I know just about everything about wrestling, and I couldn't tell you who that guy is.
I couldn't either.
That's JP. JP is the guy that's going to pull the obscure references out all the time. He's like really into horror movies too, but like real weird. And he loved your film too. He didn't like the representation of the Southerners though in that movie though. He's a Southerner himself, and he thought. but now he probably feels better now knowing it's a Southern guy that was casting the Southerners in the movie.
Yeah, I was trying to Eddie was like Ralph's cousin, so I
like that character.
Have that backwoodsy type feel to it.
He says, but he did love the Bigfoot because of course he did. He's JP.
Thank you.
No, I liked Eddie. I liked some of the homages to the older films like that. I thought he was a pretty interesting character because he wasn't just a direct ripoff of Ralph,
Right.
He seemed like Ralph never seemed like Eddie seemed to me like he was a little bit developmentally challenged.
Yep.
Where Ralph just was the town drunk.
Yeah.
He reminded me of what's his name in Leprechaun, the guy from the Pee Wee Herman movie, Mark something.
Oz.
Yeah, Oz. Yeah, he reminded me of that.
Yeah,
I
can see that. I can see that.
Right on. So got all kinds of stuff going on. So who did the effects in your movies? I mean, $15,000 budget. Everything looked pretty good.
So it was her first movie. Her name is Solid Tepes, Tepes, and she lives here in Arkansas. I can't remember how we met, but VOORHEES was actually her first film that she worked on. She has since gone on to do a lot of cool stuff. And there's a movie called The Tower coming out in theaters with God, I can't remember the lead actress's name, but she's kind of famous. But it's a mermaid movie, and she did the tail in the mermaid and everything.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, she's starting to get some pretty big bookings now. But yeah, this was her first film. She had done haunted houses and stuff before this, but she's fantastic.
Yeah, we're big into the haunted houses. We go to a lot of them. A friend of mine, Jared Haggerty, he does Halloween Haunts 365 in New Jersey, and we cover the Ohio haunts for him. And so definitely big into that kind of stuff. Did she do any of your other films?
She did After the Beast. I don't know if you saw that one, but
I did. I didn't know it existed, and I was looking up your other stuff. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
18 more minutes. This is good.
She did After the Beast, and then she worked on the movie that I have in post production right now called The Forest of the Trees.
Okay.
She worked on that. Yeah, and that's a full length original feature film.
Sweet. Right on. When I was going through your credits, I seen the United States of Horror. Can you tell us about that and what that is?
So the United States of Horror was it was like a competition about 3 or 4 years ago where you could submit little short films. I forget who the producer was, but you can submit short films to the producer, and he'd pick certain ones from each state to represent that state. And he made 2 volumes and put them out on they're on Tubi, so you can watch.
Yeah, they're on Tubi. I haven't got a chance to watch it though. But
our Arkansas, our film is called Mama Lou's Bridge, and it's like a 10-minute horror film that he chose that represents Arkansas. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I'm gonna definitely check that out. So, what actor would you like if you could have any actor there is like in the world to be in one of your films, who would it be?
Oh man, probably Edward Norton. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he is.
I haven't seen much of anything that, except for maybe the Incredible Hulk or the Hulk movie. He didn't do very great in that. But,
oh, you didn't think so? I thought so.
Yeah.
I like Edward Norton. I mean,
I do too. I love him.
I think his Hulk was. I think it was more true to it was more like adult, I guess.
Yeah.
When Ruffalo took over, it was more like something you'd find in a cartoon.
Right.
Which was what they were going for.
He seemed like he almost got I don't know what the word is, but not assertive, very meek,
Mm-hmm.
But Edward Norton's version was much more out there, forceful.
I liked it. I liked it a lot better. Yeah. I mean, the Mark Ruffalo looked more like you'd picture Banner, I think, but I liked Edward Norton's portrayal more personally, anyway. But speaking of comic books, you were in a comic book movie.
I was.
Yeah, it was. You played Dr. Freeze.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. What was that? What was the name of the film? I wrote it down.
It's called Batman: Heart of Ice.
Heart of Ice.
Will Reed, who actually played Mark in VOORHEES Night of the Beast.
Okay.
He has a series of Batman fan films.
Yeah.
And after we did Night of the Beast, he was telling me about what he wanted to do with his next Batman film, and how he wanted it to be kind of Mr. Freeze centric, and it was called Batman Heart of Ice. And I asked him, I said, "Do you have anybody who cast as Mr. Freeze yet?" And he said, "No." And I said, "What would you think of me doing it?" And he said that he thought it would be really, really good. So I didn't audition. He just said, "Yeah, let's do it." It was actually my first film, my first time acting, and so I'm pretty proud of it. They say that I did pretty good.
I haven't got a chance to see it yet, so I am going to check it out though. But
yeah, check it out.
I'll give you my critique when I actually get to watch it. But look, I seen that Creighton Duke was in it. He was Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
C.J. Bernard. Mm-hmm. That guy's he's really good.
Really good.
Yeah. I mean, I can see him really making it in films. Him and the two actors that you work with that stuck out the most to me was him and Olivia Disney, I think her name.
Olivia Disney, yeah, she's amazing. She's like, I pretty much cast her in almost everything I do because she's that good.
Yeah, she's something. She's freaking gorgeous. but that too. That doesn't hurt. Right on. Let's see what else we got.
She's in my next one, The Forest Through the Trees, as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
It seems like like a lot of directors do that. They work with a lot of this. You use certain actors and work with the same ones a lot.
Yeah, we got a little film family going on here, and we all just keep helping each other and keep making stuff with each other. James Stokes, who played Jason, he's in The Forest Through the Trees as well.
That was a really good. He was a really good Jason, but besides that, though, the costume looked really good.
Oh yeah.
Who did the costume for you?
Sala again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She made the costume for both Jason and Bigfoot, and she did most of the effects. She does have like a team. She calls her minion, but Paris Tisdale is like her assistant, and Paris is fantastic as well. In fact, Paris did the Mr. Freeze makeup on Batman.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely good stuff. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. So what are you working on now? Are you working on anything now?
Right now, my whole focus is The Forest Through the Trees, getting that through post-production and finding distribution for it. I've got 6 distribution companies who are waiting to see a screener, so hopefully one of them decides that they like it. And right now, pretty much that's my main focus and everything that I am putting my energy in. I am helping a friend do a little 10-minute short film called the Victim. Cool. We're actually shooting that next weekend.
Yeah, we had a while ago. We had Rakefet Abergel. She's done a couple of short horror films, and she gave me passes to the Cleveland Film Festival, and I was able to go up there, and it was like the horror block of all the submitted horror films, and it was really cool seeing like what you could do in such a short amount of time, with these short films. Like some of them were as little as 3 minutes, and some of them were as long as 25 minutes, and it was just amazing to me how the director was able to set the tone to the movie, lay out the plot, make everything make sense in just such a short amount of time. These short films are, if you're good at them, they're really good. They can be really good.
Definitely a challenge. Yeah.
Well, some of these guys go on and on and on too, and then you get like a 2.5 hour movie that could have been an hour movie, and it's like, oh, you're doing too much, pal.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I'm pretty proud of, and that I've been told from critics and stuff, is that my stuff has really good pacing. It's like,
oh, it definitely does, definitely for sure. That the 1 hour of the movie Night of the Beast, and then the extra 18 minutes. But speaking of the extra 18 minutes, the post movie, is there plans to revisit that with Creighton Duke and Ash?
I have a story, and I've learned never to say never, but it's unlikely.
Unlikely. All right, damn it!
If it ever happens, it'll be called VOORHEES, Mark of the Beast.
Good. That's good. Hell yeah. Now, yeah, it was definitely hoping that was in the pipeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the Creighton Duke characters. One of my favorites of the whole Friday the 13th universe.
He's one of mine too.
Very intriguing for sure. And Stephen Williams was really good at him. And your guy nailed it, man. A young Stephen. I bet you Stephen Williams would like to see that. He would definitely appreciate it. Yeah. He was, if you needed a young Stephen Williams, that was him.
That's him. Yeah, he did. CJ did amazing. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
And I really liked it in the beginning of the movie how he was like kind of like the young kid learning from the other guy, and but by the end of the movie, like when he's ready to break dude's fingers, like, he puts
the hat on, right, and it looks just like Duke.
The Duke is there.
Yeah, you kind of see him evolve through the movie. Yeah,
you do. You see him evolve. There was a lot of character development in this movie, and a lot of these fan films, you don't get that. Like, I don't know, man. I was just really thoroughly impressed with this film, man. I've seen a couple fan films that are just like, ugh, and then a couple of them I really like. Like, of course, the ones that Womp Stomp Films.
Never Hike Alone.
Yeah, his are great.
I gave him a homage in Voorhees.
Oh, what was it?
Rule number 1: never hike alone.
Yes, I got it. Yeah, I did notice it. Yep. Yeah, oh yeah, I did notice it for sure. Bill Wolf in the house. What's up, Bill? This is the director of the film that we did the watch along with Jason versus Bigfoot.
Hello, Bill.
FYI.
Yeah, like when I made the decision to do this, one of my goals was to tell a origin story, if you will, or a backstory for Creighton Duke, because he's so interesting in Jason Goes to Hell, and you don't know anything about him. You don't know where he comes, like why, how does he know so much about Jason? And when he handcuffs himself to Jason and he says, "Remember me," it's like there's obviously some kind of previous encounter that he had with Jason, and they never touch it. They never talk about it. Right. They never anything. So I wanted to kind of tell that story. And I know Adam has said that there were stuff that they filmed that was cut where he's out on the lake with his girlfriend, but I don't know. I wanted to tell kind of my own story. It never made it in the film, so it wasn't canon.
Yeah. See, my co-host, he despises Jason Goes to Hell. He cannot stand it, and that's one of the things he has a problem with. He does like Steve Williams' portrayal of the character, but he's like, we don't know anything about this guy. How did he know so much about Jason? See, me, it didn't bother me that much because we got years and years of legend that, I mean, of course, somebody somewhere could have studied up on the guy. I mean, I'm glad that somebody like you is putting some actual meat to the bone with that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I definitely wanted to know more, but I wasn't like he thought it was just like the worst thing in the world because we didn't know anything and nothing was said. And why is he here? I don't think we even needed it. I'm glad we're getting it, even if it isn't a fan film. But I don't think it was like a big deal that it wasn't there myself.
Yeah, it never really bothered me, but I was just like, hey, that's something that they kind of just left out there that could be explored. And that was one of my goals with making the movie. And what did you think of the Osmodeus angle? Like, that was all like me.
Yeah, that was cool stuff. Like, you
Demon of Lust.
You needed something to make sense out of things. You know, and let's see what's JP saying here. He says Jason Goes to Hell is the most original and daring sequel out of all the Friday the 13th sequels.
I absolutely
agree. It was.
Yeah, it was.
And it still made sense. I think it still made sense with the other films. I mean, a lot of like Ryan would beg to differ, but that's one thing. Like we were talking about, because right now we're reviewing the Halloween franchise movie by movie for the month of October, and yesterday we did 4 and 5, and that shit is bonkers, man. And the Texas Chainsaw, like, it doesn't go together.
It's all over the place. Right,
but the Friday franchise goes together from start to finish.
There's some things here and there that kind of don't make sense.
But. I mean, like some of the timeline, maybe, this, that, and the other thing. But in most of the movies, they touch back on stuff that happened in the previous movies where, it just all goes together. Characters aren't dead and then revived all of a sudden. Like Jamie died twice in the series.
Yeah.
Her character, anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, she died twice. and miraculously came back later. So I don't know. I think it makes sense.
And then I thought it'd be cool to kind of show one of the kids from part 6.
I was just about to touch on that. Okay, yeah. So those are my favorite. Those kids were like my favorite part of 6.
Yeah.
So what did you want to be when you grew up? And I love the way you put that in there.
Yeah,
like kind of a Nightmare on Elm Street feel to that scene.
A little bit,
because he's dreaming, of course, and just he's talking to himself, and that's some Freddy Krueger type shit.
Yeah,
that would happen.
Yeah. That's just his psyche messing with him,
Yeah,
and I also kind of wanted, I wanted something in there immediately, so real like hardcore fans of the Friday the 13th franchise would know who this guy is.
Right, exactly.
So that's why I put that line in there. Mm-hmm. He takes the mask off. So, what did you want to be when you grew up? Yeah. It's just like, oh, boom, that's the kid that was under the bed.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, those kids are great. That part 6 is definitely one of my favorites in the franchise for sure. I think it was it has the best zombie Jason. Like I think CJ's great. The movie was great. Some people have a problem with it because of the comedic element to it, but it's a Friday the 13th movie. Don't take it so serious,
Yeah, I mean, don't take it serious. And as long as the characters in the film don't know they're in a comedy where they're doing just stupid shit just to make people laugh,
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Right. Right on. So. Is there any other horror movie that you might want to do like a fan film of? And if so, how would you approach it?
So I've been toying with the idea of doing a Romero-esque zombie film. And I need to look into like the legalities of it because I don't want it to be a fan film. I want it to be my own thing,
Well, Night of the Living Dead is public domain.
It's public domain, yeah. And I was thinking of calling it just like an ellipses, like ... of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that being the title, and taking it like downscaling it because I think zombie films work best when it's very claustrophobic and a group of people are trapped together and with the threat outside and the real threat is inside with themselves. When you go big scale with it, something happens to where it just doesn't work for me. Like World War Z or like when you take the zombie apocalypse and try to do something really big and go big with it. Every time I've seen that done, with maybe the exception of even Train to Busan was like still kind of claustrophobic all on the train, and then they did Peninsula and they went bigger with it and it kind of lost something. Every time they go really big, I think it loses something. So I want to kind of take it back down and do. So I was thinking of a nursing home, which would be terrifying.
Yeah, that could work. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of zombie movies, I work for a check cashing facility in Cleveland, right? So I'm the guy that responds to alarms. So about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, we have an alarm at one of our stores. Somebody's probably breaking in. So I have to go up there to figure out what's going on. And I go down there. Of course, there's no alarm. But at the time, they were shooting Superman in downtown Cleveland. So it was about 3 in the morning. Like, nobody's going to be downtown. So I'm like, I'm going to drive downtown to see if I can get a glimpse of some of the filming locations. Mm-hmm. So when I get down there, there's all these homeless, crazy, crackheaded type people just walking all through the middle of the streets.
Where they're shooting?
Yeah, they're just like around downtown Cleveland.
Okay, yeah.
The filming location was blocked off, and there was like this little girl security guard that was like 4'11" and 80 pounds. She would not be. She was like, you can't go past her. And just out of respect for her, I didn't do it, but I could have did it. She could have never stopped me.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see the Daily Planet and all that, But but what I was thinking when I was down there is that I could come down here with a camera on any given night and just shoot the city because there's no cars. There's no real people down there. There's just these homeless nut jobs that are just roaming literally in the middle of the streets, like walking with a natural zombie walk. And I'm like, dude, I can get total B-roll for a zombie movie. Boom, right here. I'm gonna try it. I mean, maybe not get my camera stolen, but whatever.
It reminds me of Prince of Darkness.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The homeless people outside the building that keep them trapped with Alice Cooper.
Let's see, man. Okay, Nick Danger Mean. It says, cool looking show, dudes. Great season for Scary. Hell yeah. And BK, who's in Detroit, says it's tied in the 5th. See, I'm a Cleveland guy, so I am definitely interested in this. So, yeah. Big Coop fan. Yeah, no doubt. He's from Detroit, isn't he? Alice Cooper?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think he's from Detroit.
Yeah.
He had a restaurant in Cleveland right across the street from the stadium. It was called Cooperstown.
Yeah,
restaurant.
He also had one in Phoenix, Arizona. I think.
Was it also called Cooperstown?
I think it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Alrighty then. So I think I'm running out of questions. I don't think I got anything else here. Let's see. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. And so yeah, I just watched Masquerade before we went on. I really, really liked that film. I'd like to see that film maybe someday, maybe come into, since it's an original idea, into a feature, so you can get out there and be more well known. That'd be
we're definitely Olivia and I have talked about that quite a bit. That's definitely on the agenda at some point to turn Masquerade into a feature. We both absolutely love that character.
Yeah.
Just the idea of this very terrible monster hiding behind beauty is pretty bone chilling.
Right. And that film is that on Tubi as well?
Yeah, it's on Tubi.
Tubi and YouTube. It's called Masquerade. If you just either one, just put Jason Pitts in the search and it'll come up.
I have 2 films on Tubi. The first one is called Alone, and then the second one is Masquerade. And again, like you said,
they kind of tie together.
Yeah, they tie together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see Alone?
I like that one too.
Yeah,
I did see that. And then at the end of Masquerade, I was like, oh, I know who she is. Yeah, that one was a little bit different too. That was definitely
actually Kat's twin sister.
That was her twin sister. Was the cop?
In Alone, she talks about her twin sister, who's a cop.
No, I remember talking about her sister. I don't remember saying it was a twin though.
Yeah, well, yeah, twin sister who's a detective, and then at the end of Masquerade, that's her twin.
Yeah, she's missing. Yeah, and then it shows the missing.
She's getting the phone call from her mom saying that Kat's gone missing. Yeah.
Yeah, because at first I was thinking maybe one of the dead bodies were going to be tied to her somehow, But that was really
cool. It isn't going to happen anymore, so I can talk about it. But we were going. The Alone and Masquerade was going to be the first 2 of a 4-part series. The third film was going to be called Lonely Echoes, where that cop character goes to look for Kat, her twin sister, and she
that cop character, not the one from Alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the cop character from Masquerade goes to look for her sister, and she actually runs into the cop from Alone.
Okay.
It ends up basically taking down the old lady, finding her, and while all that's happening, Sylvia is kind of in the background watching everything play out. And then the fourth one was called Unmasked, where Sylvia and the girl cop kind of go at it.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Definitely some intriguing characters in those 2 films for sure. So when you get a film on Tubi, like, how do you get paid for that?
So I go through Film Hub. I don't know if you've heard of Film Hub.
I have.
Yeah.
So, I don't know much about it, but I've heard of it.
So Film Hub is basically like a catalog for all the streamers to look at all the films that independent filmmakers can put up there and be like, okay, I want this on my service, or I want this, I want that. sites like Tubi or like AVOD, video on demand.
Mm-hmm.
So they put like commercials in them. So I don't get paid until somebody watches a commercial, basically. And Film Hub takes, I believe it's either 15 or 20%. I can't remember exactly how much, but then the rest comes to me through Film Hub. They every month they'll send me a little PayPal royalty thing, and it's not much for the short films.
Right.
It's anywhere between like $50 to $100 a month for both of them together, not each. Together.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, I was just wondering how that worked, how you guys got paid, you know.
Alone, for some reason, Alone makes a lot more than Masquerade. Like Masquerade makes like maybe 10 cents a month, and Alone makes the rest of it.
Maybe it's the titles, and maybe Alone sounds more intriguing than Masquerade.
Maybe.
Masquerade's a far better film, though.
I have two theories. I think that it's either the language, like the rating, kind of, or it's where the ads are placed in the film. Because I think Alone might have some ads at the front, like it's front loaded.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Masquerade's like more spread out. So I don't know. I think people watch more ads when they watch Alone a little bit.
Yeah, I liked both of the films, but I thought Masquerade was far better, far superior.
Yeah, I agree.
It was really, really, really good. All right, so, well, I don't think I got anything else for you. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I gotta be on Charles Sherrod's show in about a half hour, The Dive on Rumble. So you guys, if you guys want to jump over there, you guys can see me on there watching Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, they're doing a Texas Chainsaw thing, and they have me on to yap about Texas Chainsaw, which I definitely don't have a problem doing.
No.
I love Texas Chainsaw. I went to see it in the theater a couple days ago, the 50th anniversary, and it was...
That's crazy. 50 years, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, well, my first big guests on this show were John Dugan and Chainsaw Jerry. They came on. Alan Danziger. They came on and talked to us about the 50th. We were the first thing that they did promoting the 50th anniversary tour.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which was just
congratulations.
I love it, you know. Yeah. And all like 12 people that seen it, you know. It was really cool. So now I developed like sort of a friendship with John Dugan. I talked to him online a lot.
He's such a cool dude, man.
That dude is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He's just
so like, approachable. Like everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but like a lot of people like know him and like have talked to him, and he's just such a cool guy to everybody.
Right, yeah. When I met him at a tattoo convention, actually met him and Alan there. It was in Monroe, Michigan, and I went to the Pantera concert. Well, Pantera, Metallica, and then Metallica and somebody else. And in the middle of the two shows, there was a day off, and right by my hotel, they were doing this tattoo convention. So I went there, and I got a Pantera tattoo on my head that you can't see because my hair's growing out. But I met those two guys, and yeah, John was freaking awesome. We sat there bullshit with that dude for like a half hour, and I was like, yeah, I just started this podcast. You know, would you be interested in coming on? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll fucking do it. I don't care. Yeah, so yeah, they were my first guest, and then we've had some other people. Adam Marcus has been on, not with my co-host though. the day he wasn't on because he just hates the film. And I don't know. It's like it's.
Did you tell Adam that your partner hates it?
Oh, he knows. Yeah, he knows because he's seen our review of it and everything, and it's like, oh, geez. Well, he gets that, you know, and Adam knows that that's a very divisive movie, and when you actually talk to Adam and get his side of the movie, and he explains why he made certain decisions.
He was so handcuffed by the studio.
That as well, and then when you add that into it, it was real hard for him to do, you know, really what he wanted to do. But I think with all the restrictions he had, he was able to make a cohesive movie that made sense. It was a good fucking movie. I don't know. I don't think it was bad.
Yeah. And they told him you need to make a Jason movie, but not have Jason in it.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, and then he tells a story about how Sean Richards says a lot of what he says about that's bullshit. And he goes, well, if that's bullshit, then a 21-year-old totally came in and ran, Sean Cunningham. I said Sean Richards. Sean Cunningham, and told him everything he needed to do, and just totally ran over the whole process, which is cool too.
Right.
Or Sean's lying. One or the other.
One or the other. Well, which one's more believable?
Right. Either I'm the baddest 21-year-old in history,
Right.
or Sean's lying. So I'm gonna go with Sean's lying. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's a good point.
But hey, I'm gonna, like I said, we're gonna wrap this up. We usually go about an hour. It's been about.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, just everybody out there, keep an eye open for the Forest Through the Trees coming out hopefully in the next 3 to 4 months. Don't know
when that comes on, let me know.
Oh, I will.
We'll definitely talk about it on the show. We'll definitely review the movie.
I can bring some of the actors too if you'd like.
Yeah, we can do something like that for sure, man. Anytime.
Have you seen the preview yet?
I did not, but I will after this.
I'll shoot you the preview.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, just send it to me through Messenger or whatever, and I'll check it out. Cool. But yeah, thanks a lot for taking the time and filling in for my co-host who's enjoying Cedar Point right now. And everybody in the comments, check out if you missed the watch along that we did, Night of the Beast, and then there's like a little 18-minute. What's it called? What's it called?
VOORHEES After the Beast.
After the Beast, and check out Masquerading Alone, 2 other short films that that Jason did, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And on that note, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get you out of here, and then I'm gonna wrap this up and move on to the other thing I got going on tonight. But if you guys want to check me out on Rumble talking about Texas Chainsaw, go ahead and do that too. All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Jason, man. Have a great day, man. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. All righty then. That was fucking awesome. Nice of him to come on and talk about his movie. Yeah. So yeah, I really thought that movie was going to be a joke, to be honest. I thought we were going to put it on for that watch along and we were all going to laugh at it and just make fun of it the whole time. But it was really good. And I really liked it. And I reached out to him immediately after that watch along. I was like, hey, man, I checked out your film. I do a podcast. Would you like to come on and talk about it? He was gracious enough to do it. And I think the interview went pretty well. So nevertheless, I got to get out of here. So I'm going to end this now, but watch for us to go live sometime in the next couple of days to do the Halloween 6 review and then the 7 review and so on and so forth with Ryan. And yeah, that's all I got. And because Ryan's not here, if he was here, he would say,
oh shit, there goes the neighborhood.